Hey guys, it's Eric with Empirical 360, and I'm going to be giving you 3 tips on how to speed up your landing page performance. Your landing page performance is crucial for your conversion rate online. One of the things we address immediately when we see conversion rates low, and one of the things we'll diagnose right away, is we'll look into your site speed because it does have a very big impact on your overall conversion rate and customer process. Oftentimes when people think about speeding up their site, they think they have to be very technical, they think that they have to be an IT wizard. I'm going to give you 3 tips that pretty much anybody can implement across their website. The first tip is downloading a caching plugin. The second tip is optimizing images, sizes, and formats. And the third tip is improving your overall server response time. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into those. One of the most common platforms for building landing pages and websites overall is WordPress. And if you are using WordPress, you're in luck. There are 3 very popular plugins, and there are actually a lot more than that, but these are 3 I have a lot of experience with, so I'm going to talk about them because personally, when I use them, they really improve our website performance. The first one is W3 Total Cache. There's a link right there, and we'll also be dropping a blog post about this, and you can click the link in there as well. The second one is WP Super Cache, and the third one is WP Fastest Cache. These plugins not only just improve the caching side of your website, but they also have a lot of other benefits like CDNs, minifying your JavaScript, minifying your CSS. And I know that sounds very technical, but oftentimes implementing those practices are as easy as clicking a checkbox and it'll speed up your website. So honestly, you don't have to be very tech savvy to implement those at all. And if you aren't using WordPress, you can check if your CMS supports caching. If it does out of box, then that's great. If not, you can probably just contact your webmaster, or honestly, reach out to us and we'd love to help with that as well. The second suggestion we have is optimizing your image sizes and formats. So first, make sure your images are sized properly. And this is a little bit tech savvy, but let's say your logo is in a container that is a maximum width of 200 pixels, then you really shouldn't upload a picture that's larger than 200 pixels wide. Because I know just those resources are just wasted. That's true for banners, that's true for any icons on your website. Just make sure whatever you're uploading is sized properly and is not 5,000 pixels or 6,000 pixels or directly off of your stock picture website, because then they'll take a long time to load and really bog down your landing page. This is actually one of the biggest things that slows down a landing page, are really large images or having a lot of them that are optimized. Which brings me to my next point here, is actually optimizing those images. One of the most useful tools we have, and there's a WordPress plugin for it, or you can just go to the website directly, is tinypng.com, and they do accept all image formats, and all you have to do is literally drag your image to that website and it will drop down a optimized version of the images. What that means is, without really sacrificing the resolution of the image, like visually, it'll still look just the same. However, the file size will be a lot smaller and optimized for web, ultimately allowing your page to load quicker. If you use some of the popular photo editors like, Photoshop, Illustrator, all those things, they do have settings on there that you can manually tweak to allow your web to be optimized for web. But if you don't feel like bothering with that, you can easily use tinypng and it'll accomplish the same thing. The last point is, make sure you are using the correct format. Meaning, if you upload a .png file in your website and the background of that picture isn't transparent, then you really don't need a .png file. You can just upload a JPEG. And that's just one example that we commonly see on landing pages that will save you ultimately file size and resources for when loading the page. The third tip, which seems very technical, but it's actually there's a pretty quick solution for it, is improving your overall server response time. The way you can test this, and actually a lot of the other things that I mentioned before, there's some page speed tools online. 2 of the most popular ones that I use is the Google PageSpeed Insights and the GTmetrix one. They're really good, and they actually give you the solutions that I'm mentioning, and they give a lot more than that, and they're really harsh. We'll have some websites that are actually pretty quick, and they'll get a B on there. So take their grade with a grain of salt. But good resources overall, and also in the blog post that I mentioned before, those links will be in there as well. But one of the ways you can improve your server response time, and I know it's not the best technical answer, because there are a lot of ways technically you can go on your server, especially if it's in a dedicated server, and you can really mess with your settings, but most of us aren't IT wizards, is literally pay for better hosting. If your hosting is $1 a month and you're wondering why your website's slow, that's probably the reason why. Ultimately, the server is probably, it just doesn't have enough resources to handle your traffic. It just is not beefy enough, and a lot of times good hosting is still not very expensive. We have hosting plans that are around $10 a month from GoDaddy that load very, very quick. So simple answer there, just upgrade your hosting, and if you need help with that, also reach out as well. As I mentioned earlier, your website speed is crucial to its performance, and especially when we're talking in the context of landing pages and advertising. We have literally seen times where we just improve the website speed, literally probably rebuild the website in order to do so, and it will double conversion rate or just improve it significantly. Thanks.